On one occasion, the Messenger ﷺ was asked, what is it that will be the means of most people entering into Jannah? And Nabi ﷺ said two things, taqwa and good character. Now what is the link between the two? Taqwa has to do with your relationship with Allah, and good character has to do with your relationship with fellow humans. If we have taqwa, Allah will love us. And if we have good character, fellow humans will love us. So good character has been elevated to that position. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Akmalul mu'minina imanan, ahsanuhum khuluqa." The best of you in terms of your iman is the one with the best character. Now Abdullah bin Mubarak rahimahullah was asked that, there's various encouragements in the ahadith about good character, but what is it that we would say is good character? So he said there's four things. The one thing is talaqatul wajh, to meet people with a pleasant countenance, not like you had a half a dozen lemons for breakfast. To consciously meet with a pleasant countenance. The second thing he said is badlul ma'ruf, to be a generous person. The third thing he said is kaful adha, that it shouldn't be that you harm anyone in any way, intentionally or unintentionally. And then the fourth thing he said, ayyatahammala ma yakunu min nas, that to bear the excesses of people while you interact with them. Because people are bound to violate your rights, to do something unwittingly here and there. During the time of the Messenger ﷺ, there was one of the leaders of Yemen by the name of Wa'il ibn Hujr. So he traveled from Yemen to Madinatul Munawwarah. He accepted Islam. The Nabi ﷺ honored him greatly. And then Nabi ﷺ gave him a piece of land in Yemen, in Hadr al-Maut. And Nabi ﷺ stipulated Sayyidina Muawiya radiallahu anhum to go with him to mark out the land in Yemen. So Sayyidina Muawiya radiallahu anhu undertook the journey with him. Wa'il had a conveyance and Sayyidina Muawiya had no conveyance. So they were walking along, traveling through the desert to the stipulated place. And as they were going through the desert, it was a very hot season. So Sayyidina Muawiya told Wa'il that, look, it's very hot and my feet are burning on the ground, on the desert sand, as we're walking along. So give me a ride with you. Let me sit behind you. There's enough space and we both be on the conveyance. So Wa'il said, I'm a king and you're an ordinary person, and an ordinary person can't sit with the king. So my favor to you will be that you can walk in the shadow of my camel. So Sayyidina Muawiya accepted it, and he walked in the shadow of his camel, and they reached Yemen. And then he cut out the piece of land for Wa'il, and he then gave it to him, and Sayyidina Muawiya returned to Madinatul Munawwarah. Years passed by, and it was now the time of the Khilafah of Sayyidina Muawiya radiallahu anhum. And Sayyidina Muawiya was the Khalif, the most powerful man in the Islamic world. And his seat of power was in Damascus. Sayyidina Wa'il now asked that, I'd like to meet you. So he's coming to travel to Sayyidina Muawiya radiallahu anhum. So he was us. Here's my moment. He never knew who I was. Today you'll see how many people I have under my control. When he traveled to Sayyidina Muawiya radiallahu anhum, Sayyidina Muawiya went out of Damascus to welcome him, entertained him and hosted him, and never mentioned that particular incident at all. That was bearing the excesses of people in a beautiful manner. And that is what we're talking about, good character. The great-grandson of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Zainul Abidin, rahimahumullah. And people will catch you at different times. When you're off guard, someone will come and say something to you, and you didn't expect it, and you have an outburst. But look at this. He was sitting, and someone came to him and said to him, you and your family are like this and like this and like that. And he looked at the man and he said, what you said and what is my reality is actually far worse than what you've said. Allah has hidden many of my faults from you that you don't have. But the fact that you've come here to me that's indication that you have perhaps some need within you. So how can I help you? What assistance can I give you? He took his shawl off and he gave it to the man, and then he arranged for 1,000 dirhams to be given to the man. So that was, responding to bad behavior in a positive manner. And that is what we're talking about, that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that which will weigh the heaviest on the scales on the day of Qiyamah, it is good character. When character is lost, everything is lost. May Allah Rabbul Izzah grant us good character.